everybody, make sure you stick around because on this week's episode of Worst Father of the Year, I'm finally getting around to unboxing the gift that my son got for me for Father's Day. And we'll take you along the journey so you can see what we got for the drone. Welcome to Raph's Reviews. I am Raph, and on this channel I say don't spend your hard-earned money on something that may not fit your needs. Let me try it out for you first, help you decide whether or not it's something that you should buy. So my son got me a grab bag of stuff for my drone. So we're going to unbox it, kind of see what comes in it, what we think about it, and how it all works together. So I do have two drones. I have a DJI Mavic Pro. But that's kind of large, so if I'm taking small trips and just want something small that I can slip into my pocket, I have the DJI Mini 3. One thing with that is there's nothing that kind of like holds these propellers into place. They just kind of flop all around. That's probably like my biggest downside about this drone itself, is I'm always worried like I'm going to ding up the rotors or something on them. So we'll see what all it comes with. Then also the DJI drone comes, one of the styles of the remotes have a built-in display. The other style remote, you use your phone as your screen, which is fine. It works great. My DJI Mavic has it that way, where I just slide the phone in there. But it gets a little bit annoying if you're flying and somebody sends you a text or is trying to call you, and all that stuff pops up on the screen while you're flying, so it can be a little bit of a distraction. So when I bought the Mini 3, I bought it with this style remote on there, which has that screen on there. But of course, then you run into, as you're tossing it in your camera bag and all that kind of stuff, that it gets scratched up or dinged up. And then, of course, when it's bright outside and direct sunlight, it can be kind of hard, so you find yourself kind of hunched over trying to provide shade for it. So my son, knowing that, got me this 2-in-1 protective cover for RC controllers. So we'll take a look at that. Just get a cutter out here. So this thing is supposed to act as a cover, and then you can flip it up, and it's supposed to act as a sunshade. So we got some little thumb screws here. Some installation information, and the controller itself. Alright, so there's a nice little padding here, which would be against the screen. And it looks like with the way this is set, you can stow it with the thumbsticks on. Which is good, because when you put this on, it actually covers, if you see on the back there, that's where the thumb joysticks, that's where the joysticks go. And when you put this on, that's actually going to block that cover. So it's good that they set that with it. So let's first pull those bad boys out and connect them in place. And then we'll just pop this over the front here. And that's what those thumb screws are for the back side. So putting it in the hand doesn't feel like those thumb screws are getting in the way at all if I was controlling it. Also, everything on the back is kind of vented, so it shouldn't overheat the controller like I am right now. Sorry, I'm filming this in my garage, and it's about 1,000 degrees outside. So yep, just as advertised, the top part pops up, and it will definitely provide shading. Have no issue operating any of the buttons. Yeah, feels good, looks good, works good. Now I can keep my controller protected and have a built-in sunshade. So definitely highly suggest that Only drawback I would say is since you have to keep the joysticks on, it does widen that profile a little bit. So I'll see if it'll still fit in the sleeve of the camera bag that it normally sits in. Okay, moving right along. Let's see what we got in our little grab bag here. Okay, we've got a Mini 3 Pro screen protector. I'm sure it'll be just like every other screen protector that I attempt to put on. There'll be bubbles and it will be absolutely horrible. Okay, so the next thing that we have is some landing gear. So the thing with the Mini 3 is that it does not sit very high off the ground when everything's all extended. Just with the angle, the blades do get a little bit close to the ground. So in essence, when we pop these on, however we pop these on, looks like it's probably going to go like this. So that's one thing I'll say. There is no instructions on it. Maybe if I go on to where it was purchased at, there might be some follow-on info there, but as it stands, there is no info. All right, so it looks like we can just pop this here. We don't want to do that. Maybe it just stays up here at the front. So let's do this. Slide this out. Yep, there we go. So as you can see, so when you're putting these on, it looks like the skinny side goes, you'll see you have a skinny side and a wider port. Skinny side goes against the airframe. Bring that back propeller in and then stick it back out, and then you have your landing gear, so it keeps the propellers a little higher off the ground. So one thing I will say as far as the propeller guard is concerned, as far as the landing gear is concerned, I see we have some propeller guards, so we'll take a look at those. The advantage of the Mini 3 is that with the stock battery, this is considered to be a drone that is under 250 grams. So there is a lot of different rules and requirements. I mean, airspace rules are airspace rules. We won't get into that. But a lot of rules apply to drones that are above 250 grams. So for instance, if you have a drone that weighs more than 250 grams in the United States, it has to be registered with the FAA. Now, if you have a drone that's under 250 grams and you're not using it for commercial use, if it's under 250 grams, you do not have to register it with the FAA. Again, that's to my knowledge up to this point. Things change all the time. But also, a lot of different countries, you run into different restrictions when drones are above 250 grams. So having a drone below 250 grams is definitely beneficial in some aspects. Obviously, a larger drone is going to act better in certain conditions. But if you're going to a place that kind of has odd restrictions or odd things that you may have to do, like for instance, in some countries you have to have a basically a license to fly a drone that's over 250 grams. So instead of dealing with all that, you can go with a 249 gram drone and not have to worry about that. However, that is weight at time of flight. So the instant that I put this landing gear on this drone, it is no longer a drone under 250 grams. So please, please, please understand that. I'm not here to tell you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, but I will tell you that if you're looking for a drone that's under 250 grams because you want to do things that have a different requirement for a drone that is not 250 grams, the minute that you add anything on here, you're now over 250 grams in it, and you will be treated. That drone will be treated as such, as a drone that's heavier than 250 grams. Enough with that soapbox. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that when you look at these kind of things and think, oh, that would be really neat to put on my drone, yeah, it's really neat to put on there. But as soon as you do, you're no longer a drone that's less than 250 grams. All right, so these are some propeller guards. So the thing that's good about propeller guards is, say you want to fly indoors, or you're trying to do some stuff that's, um, maybe in an area where there's lots of trees and stuff, and you really just want to be safe to not clip your wings and crash. You can install these types of propeller guards. Okay, so when we put one side on, you can see that now the propellers stay below this guard. So if it was flying along and maybe you hit like a tree or something, it's not going to clip that blade and make it fall out of the sky. Obviously, from the top, it's still unprotected. On this side, it's unprotected. But most of the time, when you run into issues, and what you want propeller guards for is, let's say you're trying to do some footage and you're shooting inside a house, and you're flying it along. If you hit the wall or door frame with this, your drone's just gonna bounce. But without it, and it clips that, it's coming out of the sky. So just a thing what some people would utilize those for. So with the larger drones, there's a strap that goes over the whole drone that helps hold these props in place. But this comes with a actual propeller holder. So let's see that bad boy in action. Okay, so I think I've got it figured out. Anywho, that just kind of straps around the bottom there, and that holds those in place. Again, I'm not quite sure that I have that set on there right. I don't know. I'll mess around with it, but it serves its purpose. I guess so doesn't a rubber band, but who knows. All right, then we've got, this looks like probably a neck cord for your remote. So nice sturdy neck cord there. And then last but not least, this looks like a landing pad. So the thing that's good about this is, say you're taking off at the beach in a sandy area or a dirty area, or even a grassy area, because like we said, those props sit kind of low. And let's say you don't want to use the landing gear because you want to stay below 250. When you set this out on the ground and it comes with a few stakes, now this will hold all that grass and stuff down before you take off, so that way you don't clip any with your blades. So yeah, overall that's a great little kit. We'll get the link for it and drop that down in the subscription, or we'll drop that down in the description box below, so that way you can see it. Yeah, so if you know anybody with a Mini 3 Pro, nice little grab bag gift basket to get for them separately. That's a lot of money. Together in that kit, not so bad. So that's going to do it for this review. Thanks so much for sticking towards the end. I'm going to get inside and get some air conditioning, because as you can see, this is much more work than I should be putting into this myself with this kind of sweat. Overall, love the little products that are on there. Again, please understand that once you affix anything to a drone that's 249 grams, it's going to put it over that 250 gram. But other than that, please let us know what you think about the product. And also drop in the comments, let me know what you'd like me to try to review for you next. We'll try to get that review facilitated for you so that way you can see it. And other than that, please click like and subscribe to help this channel out. And we'll see you next time. Bye.